my friends, this is Lionel Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about, as you can see, the world ahead 2026. The Economist has just put out their new magazine cover, which we know The Economist was originally funded by the Rothschilds. That's right, and going back so many years now, it's a very old magazine. It's predicted so many things throughout the years, okay? Predicted. Why? Because it's predictive programming. It's a magazine made by the elites for the elites. And you see, the elites are occultists, and they use imagery and symbolism as a way to pretty much let the other elites know what's going to be coming in the coming year. And to the uninitiated, to the people who are just brainwashed zombies, sleepers, they don't think anything of it. But to the people who have been initiated, to the people who are awake, or awakening, we should say, they could spot what it's actually trying to say. And if we look throughout the years, it's got a very high accuracy of predicting the year ahead. Okay? And there's many secret clues and messages of what's going on. Alright? So I took a look at it, and I want to give you my take on what I feel is going to happen. Alright? And let me tell you, it's going to be a hell of a video. Alright, my friends? So I'm just going to encourage you guys to hit that subscribe button before we begin. As I say, subscribe to survive. And smash the like button, because I am heavily shadow banned here on YouTube. So nobody's seeing my videos, even my own subscribers. So maybe if you hit like, you might see my videos. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright, so let's just get right into the video, my friends. This has a lot of esoteric, hidden knowledge within it. I'm very excited to start this decode. So the first thing I want to point out to you guys, if you take a look at it, you'll see there's an image of a long boat on there with a couple blokes, one of them with a big water pitcher, yeah, and you also see on the sail you have this symbol here that I'm kind of wearing on my as my bracelet as well. What is that symbol? What's up with this imagery, this symbolism? Well, my friends, this is going to set the course for the meaning of the entire magazine cover. All right. So first things first, you see the water pitcher, and you're probably thinking, well, water pitcher, where have I heard that before? Well, my friends, the age of Aquarius, right? The sign of Aquarius in the zodiac. Of course, we are now entering the age of Aquarius, right? The age of Pisces is starting to end, and now we're entering the new age of Aquarius. This is the new world order that we're entering, okay? And as we enter the age of Aquarius, the old world order must fall apart and be destroyed, okay? So that's why you see all the destruction going on. We like to call it in the truther communities the Great Reset, or as I call it, the Great Matrix Reset. The system is resetting, the old order is dying, the new order is coming in. The new order of enslavement and control. My friends, Saturn rules the golden age of Aquarius, okay? And Saturn, we're in the black cube of Saturn matrix, where we're being loosed, okay? So it's not a positive thing like many New Agers want you to believe. We're just entering a new age of control, the New World Order that the elites love so much, okay? So that's what it's signifying, and this symbol that's on the sail is directly connected to that. Interesting, because you see that symbol within Greek art, okay? You see this, it's called the Gamma Dion, okay? And you see it all over Greek art, and of course, the Greek zodiac, right? The age of Aquarius, it's Ganymede holding the pitcher, the water pitcher. Ganymede was the boy toy of Zeus, pretty much Zeus's victim. We've gone over that in previous videos. Zeus kidnapped a young boy to rape and make his servant, and he held the water pitcher. All right, so you see it's connected back to the Greek symbolism, but of course, this symbol The Gamma Dion is seen in all cultures. I actually got this in Mexico, my friends. I was just in Mexico and I saw this. It's a Mayan symbol as well, but we see it all over the world because it's an ancient symbol going back. You'll also know it. It's kind of a offshoot, or it's the same meaning as, I can't say the word here because it might trigger the algorithms, but it starts with an S, a swas. I'm not going to go even any further. Okay, the man with the funny mustache, World War II, kind of demonized the meaning of it, right? Because this symbol has been used for thousands of years, and it's not bad, it's not good, it's not evil. It's a symbol that contains knowledge, okay? And it actually does have some good meanings. But of course, the man with the funny mustache, he was an occultist himself, and he went and he took that symbol and pretty much gave it his own meaning, and it kind of perverted and distorted the true meaning of it. So I'm going to tell you the true meaning of it, and you'll see how it actually relates to the cyclical nature of our realm, the cycles that we go through, okay? Traditionally, it was always associated as a solar symbol, okay? And of course, as a solar symbol, it deals with the cycles of the 4 seasons, because there's 4 sides on that thing, okay, on the symbol. It represents the 4 seasons, the 4 elements: water, fire, earth, air, right? It's also been known to represent things like good fortune, cosmic order, cosmic balance. So it has some positive meanings. Many cultures viewed it as a very positive thing, okay? But it also, like I said, had to do with the cycles, the wheel of samsara, okay? The 4 stages of life: birth, life, death, and then, of course, rebirth, okay? And humans go through that, but also so does the simulation, you could say, as well, all right? So it's very interesting. It goes back to even the Hopi prophecies, because the Hopi tribe believed when the 3rd world went into the 4th world, they believed that symbol represented the migrating thunderbird, okay, of the whirling log that carried humanity to the 4th world. So when there was a reset that happened then, it carried them in, okay? Well, now, according to the Hopis, the 4th world is now dying, and we're now going into the 5th world. So, of course, this symbol comes back to represent that. So I found it very interesting that The Economist chose that symbol along with the Aquarius water bear, and you'll see there's even a fish underneath it about to be run over by the boat, okay? And to me, that symbolizes the end of the Piscean age and moving forward into the age of Aquarius, okay? And of course, how's this all going to take place? Well, take a good look at what we see here in the magazine cover, my friends. It is very war themed. Oh yeah. So that's telling me that 2026 is going to be followed by even more war. I think we're going to see war with Venezuela pop off. We're going to see the Russian and Ukraine war continue, because you'll see we got Zelensky on there, we got Putin on there, we got Xi Jinping, we got Benjamin Netanyahu, we got the Indian president or prime minister, whatever his name is, and of course you got Trump. You got Trump there, and it's very interesting because you got Trump there, and it's see him pointing at a crashing economy. We're going to get to that in a second, okay? But along with all these major world leaders, you see tanks all around the image, all right? We got tanks, we got ships, a warship, or it actually looks like a cargo ship, but it's actually a warship, because you see there is a cannon with something shooting out of it, and it's very interesting because on the other side you see a satellite, and the satellite is beaming something towards the ship. Okay, so to me it's like, okay, we got like a ship that's disguised as a cargo ship, but really it's gonna fire something, start a war or something, and of course it's hitting a birthday cake, which is very interesting. We're gonna get to that in a second as well. Well, let's just get to it now. The birthday cake says 250 on it, and then you'll see there's a fist coming out of it like this, okay? And it's got a handcuff, and it's connected to the cake. And of course, there's an American flag behind it. Why? Because on July 4th, it's America's 250th birthday, okay? And you know that fist is a communist-styled fist, and it's pretty much showing America will be in chains, okay? So I don't know, is this predictive programming showing some kind of event will happen on America's birthday? Is there going to be some kind of war kicking off on July 4th? Will there be some kind of false flag attack that's going to put America in chains? I'm not sure. I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe it won't necessarily be a false flag event, but maybe, like I said, it'll be a war popping off, or maybe it'll be something to do with the economic crash. Because, my friends, what does war do? Historically speaking, all the wars, World War II, World War I, every war throughout history is always done for a reason, to reset the financial system. That's why underneath the cake, you got Trump pointing at the crashing economy. Okay, we got a crashing economy on there, my friends, all in red. Okay, we know they want to crash the financial system, part of their great financial reset, because they're bringing in the new system that will be used in the age of Aquarius. We're heading into the digital age. And of course, you see X over top of the crashing economy, okay, in the form of swords, showing that the old system is being torn down, okay? Pirates or something like that. Well, X marks the spot, right, my friends? Oh, I wonder what that could represent. I've only been telling you guys about this steadily for months now, about how the new financial system is going to be replaced. And one of the main things that will be in the new financial system is the technology known as XRP, the cryptocurrency. That's right, my friends. XRP will be the new financial system, okay, along with some other coins. But XRP is going to be the main one that's going to replace the whole banking system. Trillions will be used on the XRP ledger, and this will be the rise of the stable coins, all the cryptocurrencies, you know, all that will be used in the new system. So it's actually a very unique opportunity you guys have before this really starts to take off. I know the crypto markets are really crashing right now, but it's all by design. They're trying to flush everybody out as much as they can before they send it to all-time highs, because they don't want people like you and me getting rich, right? So although they have to allow it to happen, because that's just how the system is set up, they want to get as many people to sell their crypto as they can before they take it to all-time highs, right? They flush out the bulls, as they call it. So right now it's super cheap, and this might be one of your last opportunities. This is not financial advice. It is just financial awareness. You got to do your own research on the topic, and you got to research it and make your own financial decisions. But all I'm saying is this is a very unique opportunity, or just a little bit of an investment now can set you forward in the future to do pretty good for yourself. So you're not going to just end up being a slave, being put on a CBDC stablecoin system where you're dependent on UBI, because you're going to lose your job, because AI is going to take over everything the next 5 years. So you're going to be reliant on $2,000 a month that the government gives you. And if you don't, you know, take all the things they want you to get and be a perfect little slave, well, guess what? You're not going to get your $2,000 a month. So do you want to be on that system, or do you want to have maybe possibly millions of dollars because you made some smart investments into the new financial system? You made that pivot, right? The choice is yours. Do you want to cling to the old order and go down with the ship and starve to death and all that? Or do you want to make the pivot now, and maybe that way you won't be dependent on the universal basic income? But I'm telling you, this is predictive programming in your face. X over top of a crashing economy. You got coins on there, right on the crashing economy, but all throughout the picture, the magazine cover, you have dollar bills and stuff, paper money flying all over, showing this is going to be the crash of that. And of course, I believe the X marks the rise of the XRP, because, my friends, we see tons of predictive programming about XRP. Just the other night, I was watching the movie Thor Ragnarok, okay? And in it, all of a sudden, this pops up, this scene, and I'm like, hey, That's the XRP logo. See? There you go. But that's not all. There's been XRP in many movies, predictive programming of it. All right. And like Back to the Future has predictive programming of Ripple as well. Ripple is the main company that kind of, they're kind of connected to XRP and whatnot. So there's been so much predictive programming. This is a long time plan. Not financial advice, financial awareness. You make your own decision on what you choose to do. If you want to remain a slave in the system, or maybe possibly have a little bit more freedom because you'll have the wealth and you could be part of that 1%. I don't know. The choice is yours. I know I refuse to be a slave, and I choose the other path, and hopefully I could be in a position to help others out, because I think we need more people in places where they having more wealth or whatever, who can help others and stuff like that. So if this scenario does turn out, I think the more good people, the more starseeds who do invest now could maybe use whatever they get to help humanity as part of their missions, right? So that's just the way I view things. Anyways, let's get back to the image, but I do feel that's what's going on there, okay? But yeah, we got so much stuff going on there, my friends. We got rockets all over the place, blasting off, missiles. We got drones. Of course, you already said before, satellites. We even got those little robot dogs, those little robot police dogs that we've seen so much predictive programming in with Black Mirror and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff creeps me out, We got these AI dogs running around. They could just take you down at any time. You're not even doing anything wrong or whatever the government doesn't like. That stuff is kind of creepy. You got even AI robots all over the place on the picture here. So it's really showing, the death of the old system and the bringing in of the new. And of course, the new system comes with new technology within this age of Aquarius, new golden age of Saturn. It's going to be heavily run with a lot of AI, robots, all stuff like that. And that's why they have all of that right there on the cover. All right. So I'm just looking at my little screen here. So 1 second. Here's a very interesting point. So there's one thing that you'll see all over this magazine cover, and that is, we got some, things they want you to get, and you also got pills all over the place. That's right, pills are scattered all over the place. So what's this all about? Well, my friends, I find it very odd. Actually, I don't. I can't say I find it odd at all. Actually, I'm not surprised by it one bit. But there's something going on, of course, with Big Pharma. As always, government is always in bed with Big Pharma. But as I've always said to you guys, the President of the United States, the self-proclaimed father of the you-know-what, a guy who takes full credit for what happened in 2020 and says he's the father of that thing. Okay, which we know is a lie. We know that it was created by DARPA years and years ago. They've had that thing ready to go a long time. He's just going along with the script. But we know that he's a billionaire and he loves his billionaire friends. And one of his great friends is the CEO of Pfizer. That whatever his name is, that Bordella guy, Anthony Bordella or Anthony Fauci. No, Bordella. You guys know the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank here. But yeah, very interesting, because he's been at the White House several times. Of course, Trump announced he made a $70 billion deal with them. He's going to be launching Trump XR, or Trump RX, I believe, which is truly making Trump the big pharma president, some place you could buy cheap drugs and stuff like that from this new pharmacy that Trump is setting up, that the deal he made with Pfizer. But of course, he's had this guy to the White House many times because they're buddies. And the most recent time was just the other night. Trump had one of his billionaire pals, that Saudi prince, came, and he had a big gala, big dinner and everything, and invited all the elites. He had Elon Musk there, and he had Jeff Bezos, I believe, Tim Cook, all the technocrats, right? But of course, he also had the Pfizer CEO. Every time you see this guy here, he's with all the other technocrats, all right? So here's a nice little video of good old Elon Musk. Oh, he's against the system, sitting here, laughing it up, hanging out with this Pfizer CEO. Take a look. there you go. That was just the other night at the White House dinner with Trump. So he's friends with all these guys. You could tell they got something brewing, deals, partnerships, and obviously the magazine is showing the needles and the pills all over the place, which showing those things are going to play a role in 2026. History repeats itself, my friends. Now, am I saying there's going to be a plandemic, a full-on plandemic, or is it going to be something more subtle? I'm not sure, but we got to observe it, okay? I do know on the front of the cover, it does specifically mention weight loss drugs, the next generation. So maybe it'll be a new weight loss drug that'll be being announced. We've heard a lot of stuff about Ozempic and stuff like that, but there's been controversies with Ozempic, lawsuits, people going blind and stuff. So maybe they're going to say, hey, we got a new weight loss pill. Who knows? Maybe it'll be an mRNA weight loss pill. I don't know. But it's going to be something big that's going to be coming with weight loss. That's all we know. And pills and prescription pills, big pharma. More shilling of the big pharma industry, unfortunately. Okay, what else do we got here? Another interesting thing, we got a brain there. Okay, a brain, and it's got a cord leading straight to a controller. So what's this? A brain merging with technology, maybe. Maybe they're going to come out with a new gaming system or something like that, where you merge your mind with the gaming system. I don't know, because if you remember the Super Bowl last year, it was a big PlayStation controller, all right? And that's a PlayStation controller as well, okay? So it's going to be something to do with the PlayStation, I'm guessing. Not sure. Or maybe it's just signifying in general the merging of humans with AI, which we know is an ongoing thing that's happening right now as we speak. And no, not just for the people who took the thing they wanted to get, but for everyone, because we've seen that graphene oxide and nanotechnology is unfortunately now in everything, okay? Whether it's the food you're eating or the air you're breathing, and probably even the water you're drinking, they've put it in everything at this point. It's in the meat, everything, okay? So everybody, without their knowledge, is being loaded up with nanotechnologies. So at this point, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsors down there at Welly, because we have the liver reset protocol, which I believe can help flush out some of this nanotechnology, because it has certain things in it, such as alpha lipoic acid, which has been shown to raise glutathione levels, which then, of course, detoxes graphene oxide, and of course the liver detox flushes it all out. So I got a little clip to show you guys. Take a look.
Ever wondered why you're feeling constantly tired? Your liver could be the culprit. Hey there, health enthusiasts. Today we're talking about the unsung hero of our bodies, the liver. Think of it as your body's own detox machine, working tirelessly to filter out toxins and keep you energized. But over time, it can get overwhelmed. That's where Welly Liver Detox Protocol comes in. This comprehensive 3-step solution is designed to supercharge your liver health and get you back to feeling your best. First up, we have the liver detox. Packed with natural ingredients like milk thistle and artichoke extract, it helps flush out toxins and rejuvenate liver cells. Then there's alpha lipoic acid, or ALA. This powerful antioxidant not only protects your liver from oxidative stress, but also boosts your energy levels and glutathione levels, which detox heavy metals and nanotechnology such as graphene oxide. And last but not least, berberine. This gem helps regulate your metabolism, supporting healthy digestion and weight management. Together, these products form a dream team for your liver, tackling toxins, boosting energy, and optimizing metabolism. Imagine waking up refreshed with more energy, clearer thinking, and better digestion. That's the power of a healthy liver. If you use the link in the description, you will get 15% off and free shipping in the United States. So why wait? Try it now. Give your liver the reset it deserves and reclaim your vitality today. Visit welly.com to learn more and start your journey towards better liver health.
There you go. So, link to the liver detox protocol down below in the description, and there will be a link for 15% off and free shipping in the United States. So, Again, not medical advice either. Talk to your doctor, see if you have any allergies. But if this is something you're looking to improve your health, I highly recommend the liver detox protocol. All right. So, other things we notice on here. I see that it's very sports themed, okay? So you actually have the guy there kicking the soccer ball. Yeah, you see it on the screen there. He's kicking the soccer ball. The whole image is the soccer ball being kicked. All right. And then, I don't know, is there like a World Cup or something going on in 2026? There probably is, right? Something to do with soccer is going on in 2026. And of course, I believe you got the Winter Olympics as well, which is why you have people skiing on there. You have running on there. I don't know if that's connected to the Winter Olympics. You even have some guys fighting, boxing, okay? Now, I don't know if this is connected to the birthday cake, America's birthday, right? Because it's very interesting, because on July 4th, it's been confirmed that Trump is going to be having some kind of UFC fight that's going to be taking place at the White House, okay, or on the White House lawn. A big event, a fighting event for America's birthday. So is it possible while everybody's distracted by this big fight, a new war pops off, or could a false flag happen? We don't know, but I just thought I should throw that out there as well. But yeah, lots of stuff doing with sports, okay? I'm just looking to see if I missed anything. There's so much stuff here. There's melting ice cubes. I'm not really sure what that could signify. There's balloons. There's 7 balloons. And I don't know we know 7 is used a lot of times with esoteric things, but I'm not sure what that could signify in this picture. Yeah, just all this, satellite stuff. Could this be beaming 6G down already and we don't even know? Or just the whatever stuff is going to be going on with satellites. You see a lot of that on here, all right? But yeah, I think we pretty much covered it all. You got a submarine looking out on there. You'll see there's a little... it's in blue. It's a little, submarines poke out so they can look around. You see that? So maybe spying going on with submarines. Like I said, very war-orientated. You even have a guy putting an X into a ballot box. Is that the midterm elections or something? But of course, again, it's an X, right? More XRP symbolism or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're going to pretty much end the video there, though, my friends, because I think we went over pretty much everything. I might have missed some things, but as you can see, to sum it all up, okay, we're moving into what I like to call the Great Matrix Reset, okay? This is the more things on the world stage that are resetting, and I believe the Great Big Matrix Reset, which will come with a cataclysmic reset event, what I call the Nibiru event, will come later. I believe this reset will all be taking place by 2030, this new system, and as we move further, as we get into the 2040s and stuff, we'll see the bigger reset take place, and this one's outside of man's control, really. This one is going to be pretty much outside forces, if you want to call it that. There might be some involvement of man triggering with CERN and whatnot. I made videos on that before, how CERN could be involved in what's happening here. But I do believe this is the entire resetting of the Matrix. It's going to be the pole shift event, pretty much, involved with Nibiru and, of course, the sun. And, of course, a portal will be opening up at that time that I believe, which will have an ascension event for those who've been on that higher timeline to leave the Matrix completely, but those who don't will ultimately perish and be recycled into the new simulation. And then there you go, the transfer into the age of Aquarius will most likely be complete by the 2050s. Okay, and look, I could be wrong on the dates. Again, I don't really like to do dates. Who knows, it could happen at any time, okay? But to me, all the research I've done, that's just what makes sense to me. But as you can see, we're in that transition period where the age of Pisces is ending and we're pretty much sailing into the new world. So you're going to continue seeing this chaos go on. Things are going to continue to get worse and worse, unfortunately. But For those on that higher timeline, there's nothing to fear. Just raise your frequency and realize this is all an illusion. Yes, the world is crumbling and falling apart, but realize you're within a simulation and nothing's real at the end of the day. And as long as you could get on that higher frequency, stay in the now moment, try and defeat that ego mind consciousness, I believe you will be guided. Having spiritual awakening and stuff, and be guided by the Kundalini, the Deo, okay, and your higher self. And I believe you'll be guided to where you need to be. And I know that, or I feel that the people who are on that higher timeline will have a much easier transition period and will ultimately exit the simulation altogether. And like I said, there's many ways that I think these people will be guided who are on this timeline, financially and everything. Like I said, XRP might be your ticket, investing in the new financial system, so you won't have to worry about this financial destruction. You'll be able to not have financial worries and get yourself a nice safe place out of the big cities to live and focus on your spirituality so you can raise the frequency, So I do believe people will be guided to where they need to be. But unfortunately, those who stay at the lower levels of consciousness, the lower vibrational frequencies, who do not realize this is all just an illusion, and they want to stay in that ego consciousness and fighting and war and everything, hating their brothers and sisters, we see it all over the place. I think those people will ultimately be recycled into the new simulation and have to go through that reptilian harvest destruction event. But there will be some of us who will be sealed in the forehead, the 144,000, right? Pretty much those who've had this spiritual awakening. Nothing to do with religion, okay? That's all esoteric symbology there. But I do believe those who are on that ascension path will be guided. So there's really nothing to worry about. If you're awakening, then you won't be frightened by any of this. This is just part of the movie you're in, okay? Yes, we're in a simulation. It's like a video game. It's like a movie. It's like a dream, okay? And once you realize all this, you could be the conscious observer of it all. The main thing that you need to do is not fall into fear, because it's the fear that you fall into that harvests your loosh and keeps you stuck and attached to the game. You can detach from the fear, raise your frequency, and just be the observer. Then you'll be at a different level of the simulation. You'll be protected. You'll be guided to where you need to be, and you'll be okay, and you'll ultimately graduate and be able to leave this game and play a better game once it comes to an end, because it's coming to an end and it's resetting. Okay? So just chill, get out of fear, become the best version of yourself, defeat any addictions, heal any traumas, and just try to be in the now and open up the heart chakra, be in that love frequency, and I think you're going to be okay. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. And if you'd like, you could buy a Lionel coffee for my efforts. I am on the website Buy Me a Coffee. So a link to that is down below in the description. And of course, as a thank you, I will even send you some free Patreon videos to your email, because I always like to give back. And of course, I'm on Patreon and all that. All the links are down below. So that's it, my friends. Until next time, Lionel signing off. You guys take care of yourselves.